Okay. The bright lights okay?
Yeah.
Congrats on the first one, Sonny.
Yeah, first one's always the hardest, right? Tough.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to start with an opening statement, or is this
Up to you.
questions?
Up to you.
Oh, you guys ask away. Ask the questions.
Question.
I like it better that way.
Just the feeling of accomplishment tonight for everything going on here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about what this program's been through in the last couple of years. So I think, number one, it's just like, really grateful for the continued belief and support of everybody in the community that's rallied with our program. Not only just helping me out, but helping everybody acclimate to Green Bay. I think that's what will ultimately make this special, because the success that leaves, the people that leave clues, the people that had success, have always talked about how the community has stepped up for them. And for us, it's no different. So as long as we keep doing our job and entrenching ourselves in the community, and they keep scratching our back, we keep scratching theirs, it's a beautiful relationship. And that's what's going to make the difference for us going down is, you know, you felt a little bit of energy out there, but we're going to continue to get more of that. And I understand that we have to do our job to help create belief by how we play. And so what we wanted to show tonight was that our guys have some fight in them, that our guys are learning how to compete at a high level. We don't care about who the opponent is. It's not who we play. It's not when we play. It's not where we play. It's how we play. And while it was close in the first half, I thought our guys dug in the second half and continued to fight and show some grit and made a lot of winning plays and winning efforts down the stretch.
I guess for you and for Elijah, I mean, when you got to the hoop almost at will tonight, can you talk about the penetration and what you guys were taking advantage of?
Yeah, really, I give credit to my coaches and the team, really, like, always giving me confidence and telling me what I could do in practice and helping me do it in practice. Like, I know I could get to the rim, but say if I miss something in practice, they say, next one, you got it. So I just give credit to my team and coaches for that one.
Yeah, it's a really smart answer, but sometimes it's not that nice for me because I've really challenged Elijah a lot lately. I've challenged him a ton because we need him to be great. And he's a special human being, and you see his demeanor right now. He's a very calm, poised demeanor. And there's a dog in there, right, that we're pulling out bit by bit. And he's shown that in junior college, winning the national championship, and now he's got to come here and keep imposing his will on other teams. And so what he does better than anybody is he gets in that paint, and when he's around the rim and he's in the cup and the restricted arc, it's a finish. It's a bucket. And so tonight, for him to have all the struggle and sacrifice that he's made, because he's one of the most consistent, accountable guys every day showing up in the gym. And it's not always paying off in practice. And so to have a night like tonight, I just think that's the process. That speaks to it. And that's what I think kids lose faith because it's not going so well for him in the moment. But he had that stick-to-itiveness where he can just sit there and continually show up for his guys and for his team. So I'm really proud of Elijah tonight.
Appreciate that, Coach.
What did you see in that second half that allowed you guys offensively to start to break away?
But, you know, when you play a team where you don't really know what they're going to do because it's their first game of the year too, and they have a whole bunch of brand new players, you got to do a lot of in-game adjustments. And so the first half is kind of like one of those boxing matches where you're throwing a bunch of jabs and seeing what works and what doesn't. And what we found is the advantages that we had to expose in the second half were middle third ball screens and then playing through Elijah in the post. And so Noah in the middle third, just working the middle part of the floor, especially with Rich, whose gravity stretches the defense because he can pick and pop. And when Rich making shots, like it's gonna be hard. Teams are really gonna have to figure out how they want to guard him. And so with that, Noah was going for spells, and then when Noah wasn't going, we got to Elijah. And so we're an advantage-based team. That's how we play. And so for us, whatever the advantage is, we're gonna keep going to it until they stop it. Then we got to find the next one. And so it's a chess match out there a lot of times, just to see what works and what doesn't.
I think your half-court defense made it difficult for them, I think, to get some pretty good looks. They hit a couple threes, but.
Yeah, they hit tough contested ones, but at the end of the day, I would say it's in the Green Bay grit style of basketball, we want to hold teams to 60 points. I mean, that's the model, right? If you can hold a team to under 60 points, I don't care who you're playing, it's a good defensive night. And while we forced some contested ones, I thought we gave up some long rebounds, and that's part of it. Is we talked about our defense is geared to make teams work late shot clock, so we can't break at 25, 26, 27. When it's 4, 3, 2, 1. We give up a shot. We can't give that offensive rebound up. We gave 7 up in the second half. And so we're going to have to go back to the tape and watch, how those breakdowns happen. But yes, the half-court defense is something we got to take pride in. We got to compete. We got to defend. We got to rebound. And we know that's a big part of who we are because offense is a variable and defense is a constant. It's got to be there every night.
What was that locker room like after the first one, and what was your message to the team, Sonny?
It was a good celebration. It was a great celebration. We're still going to celebrate the singles, but I said, this is a celebration where we love winning. Everybody should embrace and enjoy winning. It's hard, but we don't over-celebrate. And I told him, like, we also don't under-celebrate. It's like there's a balance to all this because they're both imposters, winning and losing. Success and failure alike are imposters. And you win one and you celebrate too much, and then you come back and you lose. And then what do we do? What do we accomplish? Nothing but inconsistency. And so you lose one, and then you overreact, and all of a sudden you lose 2 in a row because you overreacted so much that you beat everybody down. And ultimately, we try to take the emotion out of evaluation when we go to film. We watch the tape, we teach through it, and then we continually grow. And that's part of the process for us is, I told them, at this end right here is the things you do. The things you do every day, which is hard for a lot of normal people to just show up and do the same things they're supposed to do every single day. Everybody wants to trick the process. So here's the things, and over here are the rings. And everybody wants the rings, but they don't want to do the things. So in between the things and the rings is the process. And this is where the boring stuff is and all the suck and all the things that are hard and nobody wants to do. It's all in here. But everybody wants the things or the rings without the things. And so for us, we're going to continually go into the practice. We're going to watch the film. We're going to do the rehab, the prehab. We're going to do all the things that are boring and all the things that nobody wants to do so that we can enjoy this process at the end, hopefully at some point. And I told them there'll be guys in this locker room that will never see the fruits of the process because maybe they weren't here too long. Or maybe they only had a couple years. And we got some transfers and maybe they're not here because they graduated. But maybe their teammates won for them. So they're still part of the heart. They're still part of the core. And I think that's the message we're trying to send is as we continually build. Don't lose sight. Just because something in the short term happened, don't lose sight of the long term and how important everybody is in that locker room.
Mm-hmm. How big is Noah Reynolds on the court for you guys, offensively, defensively? I mean, he led all scores.
Noah cares a lot. What I love about Noah is I know he cares a lot about me. Mm-hmm. So as a coach, when you have a player who cares a lot about the head coach, sometimes he tries too hard for me. And when he tries too hard for me, you see him pressing a little bit because he wants to win. And man, we got family out there. I mean, Noah's like family to me. He's got a brother out there too. He's got a whole family sitting in the section over there. His brother was born in Green Bay. I mean, he's got Green Bay blood, right? And so Noah's out there trying to show everybody like this is our home. This is what we want. This is what we're here for. And sometimes he's just got to let it flow, let it come to him. And I thought tonight he finally found his rhythm, finally found his flow a little bit. And that weight gets lifted off his shoulder too because a young man, and I don't think people understand this, young men have so much pressure on themselves to perform out here at a high level that we always talk about you're going to be your own worst critic. Everybody else is going to criticize you, but nobody can be a worse critic than you. You have to be your own worst critic. And when you have guys that care that much, that's why I know the locker room's always going to be all right.
So Elijah, when was the last time you played without missing a shot?
I would say probably like 5th grade.
Yeah, I was going to say 5th grade, yeah.
5th grade, yeah.
Elijah, what's the chemistry like? I mean, 2 games in, you had an exhibition. Do you guys feel like in that locker room that you guys are kind of creating some chemistry and seeing what other guys like and looks and what have you?
Definitely. I think we really started building our chemistry in the summer, especially because we were in the dorms. Everybody was close to each other in the dorms, talking to each other, just building a connection. And then we played with each other all throughout the summer, then in the fall, and now we're here. So, like, everybody knows what we want to do. The locker room has never had any problems, so it's a great vibe in there.
And they're trying to come up with some sort of cheesehead thing at the
Cheese.
end. Like they're trying to give the cheesehead award. They haven't. Our red shirts they're in charge of that stuff. So the red team's in charge of that. They haven't figured it out yet, but they're trying really hard right now. So eventually they'll get to the point where they give some sort of cool cheesehead award out. You know, shout out to the Packers, but like they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Elijah, how good did it feel just to get this first win, the season tonight, especially just because of the way that things went, in your guys' opening matchup and being in Iowa State?
Yeah, it felt great, honestly. It's not – you can't think about the next games. You just got to think about this game. It doesn't matter who we play. Some people are probably saying, oh, you should beat them by 50, 30. It doesn't matter. It's just another college basketball team, a bunch of grown men playing against each other. So, I mean, you got to put that in perspective, and it felt great, though. Yeah.
So you coached at a few different stops. How special is that first win, just anywhere you go?
Yeah, man, it's special because of the guys in the locker room. It ain't special for me, right? Because if you coach long enough, you're going to win some games, you're going to lose some games. And the first win's always the hardest because I think everybody in that locker room, like I said, they care about each other so much that they wanted to win for me. They wanted to win for each other. They wanted to win for the community. They wanted to win for everybody. And so just to get that first one out of the way, just so you know, like there's one over here and there's one over here, right? So there's a win and there's a loss, right? So we're even right now, which is nice, and that's a nice balanced force right now. So to get the first one is special because of the people. That's what makes it all special. So I'm appreciated that they didn't put any Gatorade in there and try to shower me with that and ruin this nice suit that I was wearing. I appreciate that.
What do you need to see from your team between now and the tournament coming up at Montana State?
What do I need to see from them?
Yeah, in order to have success there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
More Green Bay grit.
get more Green Bay grit. I mean, that's the thing is that we're going to keep challenging our guys to do is to continually work deep into the shot clock on the defensive side of the floor, continually take care of the ball. And we have 5 defensive commitments, 5 offensive commitments that mean a lot to us, and we evaluate ourselves based on those commitments. And so, in any given night, like if you hit 5 for 5 on your commitments, like you're winning that game going away. You hit 4 for 5, it's probably going to be still a pretty good game. 3 for 5 is the bare minimum standard. You better meet those standards, and anything underneath that. So ultimately, it's getting better at our commitments. And if we continually dive into the defensive side of the ball, which we can control more, and then get more patient, I think the biggest thing for our offense is just continually working on our flow. So when actions break down, getting to our next. And that's where this team is going to continually have to work, because sometimes in practice you can bail each other out. You can get a good possession in practice. All of a sudden you shoot an early shot that wasn't good, but wasn't great. It was good. When you play a real opponent, they're going to make you fight for that great shot. They're going to make you work deep in that possession. So we can't bail each other out in practice. We continually have to dig deeper into pushing each other, and that's a hard part with the roster right now that's a little depleted. When you got some injuries, is really making those guys challenge each other going forward. So we just need to see consistent competitiveness and consistent connectedness. Those are the 2 things that I think are more important than anything else.
When the 3 ball is like not working as well as you guys would probably want it early on, are you okay with them going back to it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, shoot or shoot, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what we have, and that's kind of what our weaponry is right now. And the numbers will tell you, like, it's not great right now. We're shooting like under 30% from 3. It's not, but we got guys who we stat everything in practice that shoot better than that. And so, like I said, I challenged Rich a little bit because Rich is a way better shooter than what he's shown.
Yeah.
And so for Rich to come out and hit a couple big ones, that speaks volumes to who he is, because we need him. We need him to hit those shots. DJ Douglas is a shooter. He's plus 20 in the box score tonight. And so what we preach more than anything to our freshmen is you need to learn how to impact winning. Scoring does not impact winning. Scoring is nice. That helps. That's a big part of this game. But playing the game and being a plus 20 in the box score and impacting winning without scoring the basketball, that is a message that every kid needs to understand. Because DJ Douglas, let's keep it real here, averaged 33 points a game in the state of Illinois, led the state of Illinois in scoring, came in here right now, hit 1 3 tonight and had a plus 20 in the box score, and that's the best game he's played since he's been here. And everybody else out here talking about, where's the points? Where's the points? Plus 20 in the box score. So that's a freshman lesson that everybody needs to learn. And I wish more guys took pride in that, because he went out there and, yeah, he made some freshman mistakes, but at the end of the day, when he was on the floor, we were plus 20. That's winning. That's impacting winning. And so that message for our guys was loud and crystal clear in that locker room.
All right.
Good.
Thank you guys.